Hey guys, it's time for art class. Are you excited? I am. It's so good to be with you again today. My name is Miss Roz, and in today's video, we're going to draw the American flag. It's going to look pretty cool because we're going to make it look like it's waving in the wind, called optical art. Optical art plays tricks on your eyes to make it seem like they are moving by using lines and patterns. This will be a social studies arts integration lesson on national symbols and national holidays. Every November is a special holiday called Veterans Day. We usually don't miss school for this holiday, but some businesses like banks and offices close. It's a day we remember all people called veterans that have served in our military. These are some pictures of veterans. Veterans Day is our chance to say thank you to the brave men and women who protect our country. Many towns and cities have parades in honor of our veterans. Do you know someone who has served in the Army, the Navy, the Marines, or the Air Force? We are thankful to our United States military for keeping us safe. Let's look at our American flag. It is a national symbol for the USA. Do you know what the word symbol stands for? The U.S. flag stands for liberty and freedom. Can you name all three colors you see? There's red, white, and blue. Every color on the flag means something. Do you know what the red color stands for? Courage. White stands for purity or goodness, and blue means loyalty. All are very good characteristics. What else do you notice about our flag? Stars. Do you know how many stars there are? There's 50. One for each one of our 50 United States. There's one of those stars on there for our state. Do you remember the name of the state where we live? Louisiana. What else? Stripes in a red and white pattern. 13 for each one of our original 13 states. Do you stand to say the Pledge of Allegiance in your classroom in front of the flag? We should always put our hand over our heart to show respect for our country when we say the pledge. We raise our flag on a flagpole and we wave it during parades. Did you know our flag has 3 nicknames? Stars and Stripes, Old Glory, and the Star-Spangled Banner. Later, when we are drawing, we will listen to some of those patriotic songs. Let's look at this picture of the flag that's outside on a flagpole. Can anyone say an action word that tells what the flag is doing? Waving, flying, moving, flapping in the wind. That's how we will make our flag appear to be moving, just like this one. By drawing it a certain way, I will be teaching you, called optical art. To do this project, we're going to look at pattern. Can anyone tell me what a pattern is? Yes, it's when something repeats over and over. You may do a pattern in your classroom calendar. Our flag has a pattern. Can anyone tell me one? I see one. Do you see the same one I'm seeing? Red, white, red, white, red, white, stripes. You see that one? Say the pattern with me. First there's red, then there's white. When we're drawing today, we need to remember this pattern. We're going to use it. What comes next? Red, say it with me, and white. What comes next? Red, and then what? White. Today in our flag, it doesn't matter if we have the 13 stripes. We're just going to fill in as many stripes as we can. Our next pattern is going to be with curve line. Do you remember this line I'm going to show you? Curve line. Curves can be like smiles, or they could be like rainbows. They can even be like letter C. But today in our lesson, we're going to look at the curves that look like smiles and the ones that look like rainbows. We're going to use that. You may remember this line from our past lessons. You may even remember calling this a cup or a hump last year in handwriting. Do any of you remember that from kindergarten? Cups and humps. But in art, we call them curves. Make one with me in the air. Let's make a smile together. You start on the left, you go down, and then you come back up. Try it again. You start on the left, like a big smile. Good. Now let's do the rainbow one. Rainbows go up and over. Up and over. So let's say this pattern. We're going to need to know a pattern with smiles and rainbows. Say this pattern with me. If you want, you can clap it. Smile, rainbow. Say it with me. Smile, rainbow. What would come next if we're doing a smile, rainbow curve pattern? After rainbow would come smile. And then next would be rainbow. We will need to know that pattern as well. Smile, rainbow, smile, rainbow in our project. Let's get our supplies ready to make our American flag. You need a white sheet of paper like this. You will need your pencil, and of course we need red, blue, and some black crayons. And if you also have a white, look, we can use that as well to color in some of our white stars. After we finish, we will write some sentences. So if you have a piece of loose leaf paper, or you may want to use your journal if you have one of those. So at the end, we might need something else, another piece of paper or a journal to write in. I'll let you gather your supplies. Let's get started. Let's fold our paper in half like this, just across. Match the corners to the corners like this and press. That way, we're going to know exactly where the middle of our flag is. Sometimes we say this is folding like a hamburger, and it looks like a book. Does yours look like a book? Great. Keep it folded like a book, and let's write our names. First, I want you to write your name like you normally do with your crayon. I'm going to write with my black, or you can write with your red or your blue. Do you see how Miss Roz is just using normal pressure? I'm just pressing hard enough to see. We're going to practice using different pressures. So write your name like you normally do. Now, I want you to try to write your name lightly. See if you can write it very, very light, like this, barely any pressure. We're going to call this light pressure. Dark pressure and light pressure. Were you able to write it very light? Great. Now let's open up our paper. Good. Do you see where that line is in the middle? That's the very middle of our flag. That's going to help us make it look like it's waving. You're going to need your pencil first. Can you get out your pencil? I'm going to tell you this little story about my friends, the dots. You ever heard of that? My dot friends? All right, I have a friend named Mary the dot, and this is the middle. Mary lives right near this dot on this side of the line. Just make a little dot where you can see it. Just color it in like this. Mary lives there, and her friend Joe lives across the middle on the other side. So draw Joe the dot. Here's Mary on the left side, and here's Joe on the right side. Do you have little dots for Mary and Joe? Not too big. It's really just for you to see. All right. One day, Mary jumped way over here to the middle of this section. This is space 1. Mary jumped to the middle, and there's where she jumped, to the middle over here. Can you make a dot in the middle of the left section? And Joe jumped from here all the way over here. Not at the edge, but getting close to the edge. Joe jumped way over here. So how many dots do you have across the top? Let's count them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have 4? Do you have 5? If you have 5, 5 is too many. You need to erase one. Everybody needs 4 dots. Count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it? Great. Those are our dots across the top. Let me tell you about Mary and Joe. They're going to go down to the bottom. Mary and Joe are going in the left space. At the bottom. Everybody point to the bottom. This one's at the top, but now we're working at the bottom. Guess where Mary and Joe went now? Mary is in the middle of the left section, and she's kind of by Joe over here. A little bit of space in between them. Mary and Joe are in the middle of the left section. Draw Mary and Joe now. Guess what? Mary and Joe have 2 friends that are over here in the middle of the right section. This is Sue and Bob. Let me show you what Sue and Bob look like. They're dots. Here's Sue. Here's Bob. They're in the middle of the right section. Mary and Joe, Sue and Bob. How many dots did we make again? 4. Let's count and make sure you have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're at the very bottom, right? Watch Miss Roz. I'm going to draw a straight line from dot 1 to dot 1, from dot 2 to dot 2, dot 3 to dot 3, and dot 4 to dot 4. We're going to try to do dot to dot. Watch Miss Roz draw it first, and then you're going to try. Here's my first dot on the left. I'm going to find with my eyes where my dot is on the bottom. And I'm going to go slowly and try to connect it as straight as I can. If it's a little off, that's okay. There's our first line. All right, dot number 2. From dot number 2 to dot number 2. This one's going to be a little slanted. Oh, almost made it. That's close enough. Now dot 3 to dot 3. I'm going slow so I can draw as straight as I can. And then what's our last one? Right, dot 4. Dot 4 to dot 4. Now our spaces have some straight and some diagonal lines. It's going to make our flag appear to be moving. I want you to draw your straight lines. You can dot to dot, just like I did. Do it with your pencil first, and then we're going to go over it with a black crayon. I'm going to give you some time to do that. Do you have 4 lines? Everyone needs 4 lines. Great. Trace over your pencil with a black crayon. In a minute, we're going to listen to some patriotic music. I brought some songs. These may be songs that you've heard before. One is our national anthem, and some others are just some fun patriotic songs. So if you could sing quietly at your desk while you're drawing. All right, do we have all our lines traced with black? Great. Now we're going to try to draw our curve pattern. Do y'all remember that before? We're going to do our curve like our rainbow and our smile. All right. This is space 1. Can you put your finger on space 1? I'm going to go down a little bit, and the first one I'm going to make is a rainbow curve. Do you know what's going to go in this space? Right here? That's right, those stars. So I started my rainbow curve a little bit down. So draw your first rainbow curve. Great. Now we're going to do about 3 more. Let's see if we can space it out. Here's another one. Rainbow. Go down a little bit more. Rainbow. Say it with me if it helps you to remember it. Good. And the next one is rainbow. So space 1, I have about 4 rainbows. Now we're going to draw some stars up here. You can draw it with your blue or you can draw it with your white. I'm going to draw it with blue so you can see me. You can make your stars however you want. You could even put 1 star if you wanted to. You could put 3 stars. This is your art project, so just draw some stars with me. To make a star easy, some of you may know how to do a star like this. Raise your hand if you know how to draw a star like that. It's kind of hard, but let me show you how to do it, and you can do it with me. You're going to go up and down, kind of like a triangle. I call that a teepee, like an Indian teepee. So draw that first. And then we're going to pretend it's Stick Man. We're going to give it some Stick Man arms. I taught this star drawing lesson in a previous lesson. You may remember when we drew the night sky. Do you have some Stick Man arms? And now hands to feet, hands to feet. That's another way to do it. Watch me draw it again. TP, Stick Man arms, hands to feet, hands to feet. If you want, you can just draw some stars like this with straight lines. Or you could even make circles. So let's add some stars like you wanted and fill up all of this space in the upper left-hand corner with stars, just like our flag. Great. If you want to go back and color some of your stars white, you can do that. If I don't give you enough time right now, that's always something you could do later. And you can add some white stars in between your blue stars. Great. Later, we're going to come back and color that background. Do you remember what color the background's going to be for that section? That's right, it's going to be blue. All right, let's stop drawing stars and let's go back to making our stripes. So put down your blue and your white crayon and get your black again. We're moving on to space 2 and we're going to start a pattern moving across. So remember, this one was rainbow. So what comes next after rainbow? Smile. But it has to attach to this one. That means it has to connect. So I'm going to find the very end of the rainbow and watch me. I'm going to make it into a smile. It's kind of waving like a snake. Watch me again. Here's the rainbow and here's the smile. I'm connecting the lines going all the way across. So everyone is rainbow, then smile. Rainbow, then smile. All the way down. They connect. I'd like you to add one more smile in the middle at the top too. Can you do that? Great. So we're finished with rainbow, smile. What's the next curved line pattern we need? Rainbow, you got it. So here's our smile. Let's find the end of the smile and then make a rainbow. Find the end of the smile and make a rainbow. Find the end of the smile and make a rainbow. Each time I'm connecting it. It's kind of looking like a wavy snake right now. Do you see how the flag is starting to make waves? You got it. Let's look at the pattern. Say it with me. Rainbow, curve, rainbow. What comes next? Curve. All right, let's start at this one. This is the rainbow. Curve, 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 and curve. We have one space left. We're getting to the end of the stripes. So after smile comes what? Rainbow, smile, rainbow, smile, rainbow. Here's our very last one. Good. Good. All of your curves are all the way across. I'll give you a minute to catch up. Next, I'm coloring with light pressure. I'm coloring my blue section where the stars go. Color along with me. Great. We're about to start our next pattern. The red, white one. How about we start at the very, very top? All right, so let's start coloring. I'm coloring with light pressure. I'm coloring red first. What comes next after red? White. But our paper's already white, so we don't have to color it. So red, white, red, white. Got it? Awesome. Awesome. Let's start on the next one. So if this one is red, this one is going to be white. What comes next? Red. This is going to kind of look like a checkerboard. Have you ever seen a checkerboard with red and black? But it's going to be red and white. So white, and what comes next? Red. If while you're coloring, you're not sure what it's supposed to be, if it's supposed to be red or white, you could ask your parent or you could ask your teacher. They can get you back on track. Great. I'm starting at the left and we're going to work across to the right now. So my first one is red. I'm coloring with light pressure so I can color quickly. And then I'll leave white. I'm going to color another one red. And then comes white, and then next is red. So, if we get off track a little bit, that's okay. Just get back on track. And I'll leave that space white. All right. So this one is white, so we're going to color this one red. There we go. So after red comes white, and here's red. I'm going to finish up coloring. Have you heard some of those patriotic songs before? This one's called My Country 'Tis of Thee. There, I'm almost finished. If you're not finished coloring, this is a good time that your teacher can press pause and maybe some of y'all could catch up. Great. Have you all finished your flags? Once you've finished, take out your journal or maybe just a sheet of paper to write on and your pencil. Can you do that? We're going to be thinking about the flag. So if you don't want to write it down, you could just think about it. Looking at our country's flag brings up a lot of feelings for me. Does it for you? Let's look at our flags and let's see how it makes us feel. Let's finish these sentences in our minds. So I want you to take a deep breath and see how the flag makes you feel. Let's finish these sentences in our heads. I see. What are you seeing? And what does it mean to you? I think. And let's fill in with our minds what would we put in the rest of that sentence. What do you think about when you look at the flag? And what do you wonder about? What do you wonder about when you look at the flag? This is what Miss Roz wrote. I see a beautiful symbol. I think about all of the veterans that have protected us. I feel we live in the best country in the world. I wonder what it would be like to live in a different country. So I'm going to put those sentences up again so you can write them down if you like. I see, and you finish your sentence. Remember, every sentence begins with a capital letter and ends with a period. A capital I, and it ends with the period. Once you finish writing those, you can share it with your classmates or with your teacher. I'd love to hear what some of you wrote. Hold your flag up or hang it on the wall for you to see. Does it appear to be waving? It's not flat anymore. I hope you enjoyed making your Op Art American flag. Thanks for joining me today. Join us here next week for another visual or creative movement lesson, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.